There it is.
Screens lit up, the grid's alive. Engines roaring this digital drive. Sweat on my brow, I burn the midnight oil. Lap after lap, carve my name in the soil. 100 ways to crash, but not tonight. I chase the line, I earn my fight. Pedal down, no fear, I'm taking flight. This track, this race, is mine tonight. Qualifying ghosts, I've run them down. Every corner's mine, I own this town. Tires scream, my setup's tight. I've bled for this win in the virtual light. 100 ways to crash, but not tonight. I chase the line, I earn my fight. Pedal down, no fear, I'm taking flight. This track, this race, is mine tonight. No resets, no excuses, I pay my dues. Study every apex, I've got nothing to lose. The pack's behind me, checkers in my sight. I'm the king of this over, I'm winning tonight. 100 ways to crash, but not tonight. I'll chase the line, I've earned my fight. Pedal down, no fear, I'm taking flight. This track, this race, it's mine tonight. No resets, no excuses, I paid my dues. Studied every apex, I've got nothing to lose. The pack's behind me, checkers in my sight. I'm the king of this over, I'm winning tonight. No resets, no excuses, I've paid my dues. Studied every apex, I've got nothing to lose. The pack's behind me, checkers in my sight. I'm the king of this over, I'm winning tonight. No resets, no excuses, I paid my dues. Studied every apex, I've got nothing to lose. The pack's behind me, checkers in my sight. I'm the king of the server, I'm winning tonight. Shift up, hold steady, I'm crossing that line. I race in glory, this moment's mine. Pedal down, no fear, I'm taking flight. This track, this race, it's mine tonight. Screens are burning and pixels collide. Steel and rubber in a world online. Every corner's a war to survive. Lead foot's keeping the fire alive. Engines in the void, thundering loud. Virtual tracks, but the crowd still shout. Through the crash and the flame, we rise again. Lead foot TV, where the night won't end. Tires screaming, sparks in the haze. Metal hearts locked in digital rage. Every lap is a line in the sand, driven faster by a ghostly hand. Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV. Engines in the void, thundering loud. Virtual tracks, but the crowd still shout. Through the crash and the flame, we rise again. Leadfoot TV, where the night won't end. Tires scream, the sparks in the haze. Metal hearts locked in digital rage. Every lap is a line in the sand, driven faster by a ghostly hand. Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV, Leadfoot TV. TV. Engines in the dark, waiting to scream. Steel and thunder, born from a dream. Shadows tremble, the silence breaks. Power awakens, the ground will shake. Let the TV feel the ground ignite. Through the smoke and fire, into the night. Slow and heavy, the storm begins. Glory is calling, only one wins. Lights on the horizon, fire in the veins. Every lap written in blood and chains. The track remembers, it takes its due. Legends falling, and legends break through. Let the TV feel the ground ignite. Through the smoke and fire, into the night. Slow and heavy, the storm begins. Glory is calling, only one wins. Lights on the horizon, fire in the veins. Every lap written in blood and chains. The track remembers, it takes its due. Legends fallen, and legends break through. No retreat, no disguise. Engines awaken under blackened skies. One by one, the echoes rise. Let for TV, the fire never dies. Let for TV feel the ground ignite. Through the smoke and fire, into the night. Slow and heavy, the storm begins. Glory is calling, only one wins. Only one wins. Only one wins. Only one wins. No retreat, no disguise. Engines awaken under blackened skies. One by one, the echoes rise. Let for TV, the fire never dies.
You talk too much, but the track don't lie. Quit stalling out, quit wasting time. The only way forward is pedal to the floor. Quit whining, drive like you want more. Quit whining and drive, feel the fury ignite. On like for TV, it's a battle tonight. Quit whining and drive, leave it down in the dust. Steel and fire is the throttle we trust. Rubbing doors at 200 strong. The weak get wrecked, the brave roll on. Every lap's a war, no mercy inside. If you came to complain, step off the ride. The time is ticking, the engine's roar. Hawaii drive, that's what it's for. From the sims to the screen, it's the edge of your seat. Burning rubber where legends compete. Quit whining and drive, feel the fury ignite. On like for TV, it's a battle tonight. Quit whining and drive, leave it down in the dust. Steel and fire, it's the throttle we trust. Lights out, hearts pound, hear the countdown scream. You're strapped in the cockpit of a digital dream. No tears, no fear, just a checkered sky. Quit whining and drive or get left behind. Quit whining and drive or get left behind. Quit whining and drive, let the wild take control. On the foot TV, it's a race for the soul. Quit whining and drive, leave it down in the dust. Steel and fire, it's the throttle we trust. Green flags alive. Quit whining
virtual light. On your ways to
Welcome everybody to the Golden Racing League Daytona 100. I am Chase Clow, and pushing all the buttons and catching all the action in the background is Landon Brown, the producer. Today we've got a good one for you. It should be pretty action-packed. Right now the temperature is 73 degrees outside. Track's sitting right around 79 degrees. Humidity outside is a little high at 79.9%, and we've got just a hair of wind coming out of the southeast at 2 miles per hour. But we are clear, there's no clouds. Great evening for racing. We're going to go with the starting lineup. Your pole sitter, row 1 on the inside, is James Van Hoosen in the 05. To his outside is number 43 of Brandon Guyswhite. Row 2 on the inside, you've got Devin Baker in the 1, Chris Norris in the 56 to his outside. Row 3, you've got Tice Lewis in the 45, Jonathan Gold in the 48 to his outside. Row 4, you've got Marty Roberts in the 53, and Jared Murphy, your current points leader, to his outside in the 21. In row 5, you got the number 20 car of Robert Cottle, and to his outside, you've got the number 86 of Chris Golden. Row 6 on the inside, you've got Daniel Michelle in the 26, Mitchell Wilson in the 46 to his outside. Row 7, you've got Nicholas Christ in the 74. To his outside, you got Colton Briner in the 14. Row 8, you've got Hunter Carlson in the 32. To his outside, you got Dagan Barnes in the 41. Row 9, you've got the number 3 machine of Luna Lupo. And to his outside, you've got Chase Miller in the 55. Row 10, you've got Ryan Matthew Martin in the 09. To his outside, Bryce Jellison in the 07. Row 11, you got Yogi Schleer in the 70. David Warmoth in the 8 to his outside. Row 12, you got Carter Krogan in the 08. Stephen Littrell in the 36. Row 13, you got Cameron Beatty in the 67. To his outside, you got Brody Byrne in the 61. And then rounding out the field, you got Daniel Jones in the 99. And we are coming to the Leadfoot TV green flag. Van Hoosen gets the early front with Guyswhite and Baker behind him. Lewis and Norris behind those two. Got a early line getting going on that inside with Van Hoosen and Guyswhite getting a little separation. James Van Hoosen in that 05 car sitting in first. Devin Baker right behind him in second. Everybody's kind of single filing on that low side. And these guys are going to be a pretty steady pace, getting their cars worked in, their tires warmed up. We've got 100 laps, so these guys definitely don't have a reason to be too impatient here early on. Most of them are just going to settle in and kind of ride it out. You'll find a few that might kind of push a little bit, but right here you got Carter Krogan in the 08. Currently sitting in 17th, battling with Schleer. And Cameron Beatty following in behind. These guys should put on a pretty good show. They put on a pretty good show last week when they ran trucks. Not too much going on yet. Looks like we've got a fan for Mr. Guys White sitting in 5th place. Looks like I believe that's his wife. Give him a shout out saying good luck. Also, Literal's got a fan saying go number 36. Got some battles going on near the back part of the group with obviously Stephen Literal and a few other guys. Sorry about that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There's just they're all kind of following in line. Got one up to the top side back there. He's kind of all by himself. Got another one up there just for a second. He pops back down. Oh, and we've got a Angry Chef Designs yellow flag out. First caution of the night. Maybe we can find out what happened there. Didn't see it on screen. It's like the 14 maybe of Colton Briner. Oh, let's take a look at this replay real quick, see if we can find out what happened for you guys. Oh. I think we might have had a blinking curse right there for Colton Briner. Possibly, someone possibly blinked and he just happened to catch him. Unfortunately for him, gives him some damage. Gonna have to see if he can bounce back from that. Currently, you've, as it sits, you've got Van Hoosen, Baker, Norris, Roberts, and Guys White rounding in your top 5. Van Hoosen in first, Baker there in second in the 1 car. Norris in the 56 behind him in the 56. And then Roberts in the 53 and sitting in 4th. And Guys White in the 43 sitting right there in 5th. And then you've got Jonathan Gold in the 48 sitting in 6th. Chris Golden sitting there in your 7th spot. And then you got Robert Cottle in 20 machines sitting there in 8th. Daniel Michelle in the 26 sitting in 9th. And Chase Miller in the 55 machine there, rounding out your top 10. These guys definitely put a good show on every week too, and I know as the race goes on that, you know, these guys are gonna definitely bring the heat and bring that aggressiveness as the laps tend to go on. I didn't quite get a number, but I believe that our pit window for today is probably somewhere is going to be somewhere between the 20 to 30 lap range. I was unable to retrieve that pit window knowledge, but I believe it's going to be in the 20 to 30 lap range that they'll be doing their first pit stops. As we're still under yellow, getting everything sorted out. Man, that golden, his rap is just awesome. With that Joker reference, if you happen to catch it on your television at home, you might even catch the "Why so serious" comment on the back. That's just an awesome looking rap that he has for this race. Yeah, that's fine. I think we're going to try to pull in Mr. Golden in real quick for a live in-race report. Or at least try. Hello, Mr. Chris Golden. Do you got a copy? This is the booth.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hello, sir. Lap 9 out of 100. I know it's pretty early on, but how's it looking so far? I'll try to make this quick.
Pretty good. We're just kind of rolling through here. Everybody seems to be pretty single file here up front. They got a little dicey back there in the back. It looked like I lost a couple of my teammates in that wreck. I think a couple squeezed through there, but we're kind of cruising up here up front. I've got the CTG VFW cars all around me here on every corner, and we're just rocking and rolling. And Stephen Luttrell wanted me to say hi to his dad in the chat. So what's up, Mr. Luttrell? How are you? Thank you for enjoying the race, and thank you guys in the booth. Y'all are doing a heck of a job already, I'm sure.
Well, we appreciate it, sir, and we're not going to keep you, as I believe you're probably about to go green, but good luck to you for the rest of the race, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And again, that was the number 86 of Chris Golden sitting there in 7th. All right, we got them racked and stacked. Back up, double file. Lights are out on the pace truck as we get ready to come through turn 4 here. You should see the pace truck pull off here momentarily. Anywhere in the restart zone, you'll start seeing them pick up speed. And we've got the Leadfoot TV green flag flying in the air as we go back to racing. Van Hoosen back out front. With Baker on the high side as well as Roberts. You got Norris and we've got another Angry Chef Designs yellow flag flying. As I see in the background, a couple of cars down there on the bottom. Gonna have to see who all was collected in that and what transpired. as we got our replay up, we will take a look here shortly. Trying to get it just right for all of you sitting at home. Looks like Hoddle was collected in the incident, as well as Dagan Barnes in the 41 machine. And looks like the 20 car kind of came down across somebody's nose and collected those other cars behind him. Unfortunately. And as the 20 car was spinning, he got a hold of Barnes in that 41 machine, it looks like. Get a in-car replay from Robert Cottle's point of view. Got a little loose. Oh, he got loose. And he must have gotten tagged from behind. And collected about 3 or 4 others, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, they're going to have some damage. Some of them maybe a little more than others, but hopefully they can get it fixed and get back out. While we are under caution here, we are going to go on a quick first commercial break, and we will be right back with you. Sit tight. And welcome back to the Daytona 100. We are lights out on the pace truck, and we will be green out of 4. Your top 5 as it sits is Van Hoosen, Norris, Baker, Guys White, and Roberts. Chris Norris in the 56, Devin Baker in the 1, Brandon Guyswhite in the 43. He's got some fans in the viewers. Marty Roberts in the 53, 6th. These guys are getting stacked up, double file, as always. We have completed 13 laps out of this 100-lap race. Just completing the second caution of the night. Sure to not be the last, I would assume. Mr. Warmouth and the live viewers at home, sorry you couldn't be here. Pace truck is off, and we have your Leadfoot TV green flag flying in the air with Vandenhusen taking the early lead again. 56 of Norris right behind him. We've got some guys finally trying out the outside line with the 43 of Guyswhite and Golden, Chris Golden, and the 86 behind him. A lot of these guys are liking that low line, but there are a few trying out that high line for sure. Now that everybody's kind of getting comfortable. Speaking of Jonathan Golden of 48, currently sitting 11th. Bryce Jellison in the 07. Speaking of Warmouth in the live, we got David sitting currently in 9th place, up there in the battle in the top 10 now. They are trying all over the track in the further back of the field. 43 of Guyswhite and Warmouth currently battling it out side by side. You also got the 26 of Michelle, and I believe that's going to be the 46 of Wilson, as Michelle kind of backs off and cuts down in line behind Wilson. You got a long stretch of line on that inside. Everybody just kind of getting back in that low line. It seems to be the better line right now. Michelle going to the outside onboard camera with Daniel Michelle in the 26 currently. There's David Warmouth in the 8. Patrick Warmouth in the chat says Dad needs a crew chief. Well, I'm sure a lot of these guys appreciate a crew chief every once in a while. Never hurts to have one. Everybody's staying pretty single file still so far. Got the 3 of Lupo further back. And 32 of Hunter Carlson. We still got a battle going on between the 26 of Michelle and that 46 of Wilson right there. Michelle, I'm surprised, is on the outside line. He's kind of up there by himself. He's doing a pretty good job of holding with those guys. As you know, Daytona is largely a draft track. If you're not in that draft, you kind of drop back, as you're seeing him do currently. Almost makes contact with, I believe that's a 55 of Miller. Riding on the left side here with Michelle currently in the 26. Getting a nice little different viewpoint. It's a nice touch I see there on Miller's car with the 16. Giving a shout out and a heavenly hello to Mr. Greg Biffle. He is definitely missed in the racing world. I don't know. Michelle's trying to make that outside work by itself, but keeps having to drop back in. In the back half of the pack, don't have a whole lot more going on. Everybody's kind of single file, keeping within a draft pack. The 67 of Beatty is kind of outside, trying the outside, as well as the 43 of Guys White, who is currently sitting in your 12th position. Coming up on lap 23, laps completed. Currently sitting at lap 22. Gotta wonder, as you're on board with Yogi Schlier in 13th in the 70 machine, gotta wonder roughly about when these guys are going to decide to take their first pit stops of the night. Oh, Yogi Schlier makes contact with somebody on his outside, and we've got a Angry Chef Designs yellow. That collects a bunch of cars. We definitely have a version of a bigger one. There is a whole lot of mess going on there. We'll look at the replay real quick. I believe it started with Yogi Schlier. Looks like he got loose and went. We'll have to take another quick look at that once we get there. Just want to make sure I'm telling you guys right. Seeing what I'm seeing. Oh. Not 43 of Guys White kind of comes down just a bit. It looks like he might have caught Schlier and got him turned up. look from the nose camera of Guys White. Yeah, it just looks like they kind of just came together, and Guys White caught Schleer, and they collected a number of other cars behind them. Unfortunately for the guys behind them, they had nowhere to go. Yeah, it's unfortunate for those guys. I imagine there's just some looseness there, and unfortunately just a racing incident. Hopefully those guys can get that fixed. Van Hoosen has so far led all 24 laps of your 100 lapper tonight. He has led 23 laps. His fast lap currently is a 47.609 at 187 miles an hour. He's been on the pole all night. Definitely showing that as your leaders start coming down pit lane for their first pit stops of the night. Got Devin Baker in there, Norris in there. And looks like Norris will beat people off the line. Didn't. Oh, looks like maybe Van Hoosen beat everybody. No, he did not. Shows he's currently second. Patrick Warmuth in the chat says, I don't really like these cars. The trucks are my bread and butter. Yeah, the truck race last week was definitely fun to watch. These guys put on a good show in those trucks. Looks like we've got Brody Byrne in the 61 machine, currently sitting in first. He started 26th, and he's been as high as 12th, but currently he's showing as first. And now he's pitting. Do we still have lights on? We do not. Looks like possibly the pace truck lights have turned off. Van Hoosen, after Byrne makes that pit stop, looks like Van Hoosen's back up front. Van Hoosen, Norris, Baker, Wilson, Michelle, Roberts, Littrell, Miller, Martin, and Jellison is your current top 10. Third caution of the night. And we are on lap 26 of 100. Fortunately, I'm getting news that that last wreck might have ended Briner's evening early. So, unfortunately, doesn't look like we'll see him back tonight. He has had some pretty rough luck the past couple of weeks. As your pace truck pulls off into pit road, and we are Leadfoot TV green flag racing. Van Hoosen again pulls out front, which is a little bit all too familiar for these first 27 laps. He's running pretty strong. Got a few guys on that high line, the 56 of Norris, the 46 of Wilson, and the 53 of Roberts, I believe. Yes, 53 of Roberts. Got the 07 of Jellison down underneath Norris right now. Norris kind of gets left up there by himself. He ducks down real quick, gets in line right behind Jellison. Think he's trying to see if someone will follow him up to the high line, but nobody's grabbing. You're on board camera with Chris Norris and that 56 machine we were just talking about, out of Loris, South Carolina, and Razor Motorsports team, currently sitting in that 8th spot. Definitely takes a lot of guts for these guys to go that fast as they are going and being that close to each other. It takes quite a bit of talent to be able to keep that without losing your car from underneath you. I believe your top 6 have kind of run away with from the field a little bit. There you was looking at your current points leader, the 21 of Murphy, just a moment ago. He is also having a bit of a rough night. On your screen, you're looking at the number 36 of Littrell. And your top 6 are just pulling away on that low line. That low line's been pretty quick so far all night, as we're on lap 31 of 100. Still got Van Hoosen out front, Baker in 2nd, Michelle 3rd, Littrell 4th, Martin 5th, and Miller in rounding out that group of 6 you see in your screen there. And then it's a whole heap of seconds all the way back to Jellison in 7th, with a pack there as well. As these guys come across the line. They are on lap 32 of 100. Got a few guys, a few laps down, just noting, Krogan's 2 laps down, sitting in 17th. Guys White's a lap down. Oh, Krogan might just be a lap down. Our ticker might be a little bit off. Guys White again is currently behind Krogan with a lap down. Then you got Lewis in the 45, 2 laps down. Robert Cottle currently in 25th. Back up front to your front runners is Van Hoosen, just showing the way for everybody else. He's been strong so far all night. Baker hasn't really lost sight of him all night either. Those second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth cars, if you'd believe it, are separated from your leader by under half a second at this moment. I say that, and sixth place is just over a half a second. And then you got your Chris Golden pack, as I would call it. Chris Golden in that 86 machine out of Elk City, Oklahoma. Leading a pack there of with Golden, Roberts, Jones, Wilson, Norris, and Lupo. Those guys are also pretty quick. They just lost sight with the front six and haven't been able to quite catch back up. Got some cars coming out of pit lane. And while this action continues, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with you. Welcome back to the Golden Racing League Daytona 100. We are on lap 40 of 100. Van Hoosen in the 05 still setting the pace for everybody else, with Baker sitting there behind him, Michelle in third, Littrell in fourth, and Miller in fifth. Looks like we lost one of them. Got one coming out of the pits, getting ready to hit the track again. Got one way up on the high side. Not a whole lot has changed since we went on commercial break. Most of these guys are spreading out a little bit and just single file and moving around just a little bit, maybe seeing what they could see. Daniel Jones there in the 99, currently sitting in your 7th spot out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Here soon, these guys should be thinking about some green flag pit stops. That might possibly shake some things up, as this group right here works around a slower car. How about we try something a little fun for you guys tonight? We're going to take a few moments and go to a Golden Racing League Crank It Up session. As you listen to the sounds of those motors and that horsepower, you're sitting on board with your current leader, James Van Hoosen, in that 05 machine. He has led the way all 45 laps tonight. Oh, sorry. We are in Devin Baker's car now. Out of Bakersfield, California. Your top 5 staying together. Not a whole lot going on for those guys. They're kind of just rolling with the steam, I guess you could say. They're just making laps right now. further on back, you've got Lupo in the 3, and then you got 61 of Brody Byrne. And I believe you have the 8 of David Warmuth. And not too far back from him, trying to catch up with him, is your... I believe that's going to be the 74 of Christ. Yes. Nicholas Christ. He's currently sitting in your 17th position. I believe he is a few laps down, though. Robert Pottle. And there's a fantastic group of 5 with Chris Golden in the 86. Daniel Jones there in the 99 in that group as well. Sitting in your 7th place position. He's out of Wilmington, North Carolina. With 4 Wide Motorsports. Marty Roberts in that 53 machine leading that group. He's currently sitting in your 6th place position. Your group trio of Lupo, Byrne, and also Carlson, it looks like. Hunter Carlson out of Hannah City, Illinois with Copperhead Racing. Currently sitting in your 18th position. He is yet to hit. He hit it on lap 29. I believe he was caught in one of our earlier incidences. Also forgot to mention that we have officially crossed our halfway point. $50 down, 50 to go at the Daytona 100. Going back over your current top 10, it's Van Hoosen, currently your leader, followed by Baker, followed by Michelle, and then Littrell after him. Miller rounding out your current top 5. And then if you go a little bit further back, you got Roberts in 6th, Wilson in 7th, Chris Golden in 8th as your 6th and 7th place drivers hit the pit. Roberts hitting his pit box, as well as your current leader Van Hoosen is in the pits. Looks like he's getting all 4 tires, and he is under power. which shakes things up just a tad as the number 26 machine of Michelle. Daniel Michelle is your current leader. I apologize. I think I'm having a little bit of a mix-up in our timing. Showing Daniel Michelle currently in second. There we go. I think it's fixed. It's gonna looking like Steven Littrell in that 36 hot rod is gonna be your first place car at this very moment, followed by that Michelle in the 26 in that Brandt machine right behind him in second. James Van Hoosen currently sitting in your fourth place. He is currently following Baker, who is currently on in your third place position. Mrs. Guyswhite giving a shout out to the neighbor who's racing out of Wilmington. Apparently they are a town over from them. Mr. Daniel Jones, you have a neighbor. Daniel Jones in that 99 machine currently sitting in 8th, followed by Roberts in the 53. That's Marty Roberts. And we go back to the front. Littrell still your leader. Followed by Michelle in that 26. And 45 to go here at the Daytona 100. Your leader's currently coming up on a couple of slower cars as they move up. One of them kind of taps the wall just a tad. Be that 48 of Jonathan Gold out of Falling Waters, West Virginia. Onboard camera with Daniel Michelle in the 26. Got to give a quick shout out to Golden Racing League and Chris Golden, oddly enough, one of our drivers tonight. Without him and everybody that helps him, none of this would be happening, including our people at Leadfoot TV. And I definitely wouldn't sound as good as I do without my partner behind the buttons and the volume sliders and everything else, Mr. Landon Brown over here. So we definitely appreciate having him hitting all them buttons and making sure everything sounds good, looks good for all of you sitting at home watching. Got Baker, Van Hoosen, and Miller, I believe, all right there in your screen. They are about 2 seconds behind your leader. Got a little bit of time to make up, but as we all know, Daytona, anything can happen, so that could change as they go by the number 48. Looks like your third, fourth, and fifth place cars are catching up slowly to your front two. I am seeing their gap between them and your leader closing just ever so slightly. As we are 40 laps to go. Chris Golden there, as I was talking about him, he's currently sitting there in 7th place. Mitchell Wilson in 6th, right in front of him. Followed by the onboard camera of Mr. Golden himself. It's always awesome to get these in-car vantage points. You get to see what the drivers are doing and what's going on inside their machine. Looking out the back at Mr. Daniel Jones in the 99. As your group of 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th place. Wilson, Golden, Jones, and Roberts right there on your screen. Looks like Van Hoosen, Miller, and Baker are catching your leaders off of what I am seeing. They have caught up to your leaders. And also, I went unnoticed. Michelle took over the lead in that 26 machine. He's out front. But you now have your 3rd, 4th, 5th place guys caught up to your leaders. We'll see if they can make something happen here. Daniel Michel, your current leader, started in 11th, and he has not looked anything but forward ever since. He's led 4 laps, and he's pitted twice so far. His fastest lap of the night came in at a 47.441 at 188.26 miles per hour. Currently up 10 spots. Steven Littrell. That's a big surprise of the night. He started 24th, and his highest spot was lead a little bit ago. And first, he led 10 laps up to now, and the lowest he's been is 24th. So he has definitely looked nothing but forward. He's gained 22 spots. As we come across the line, we're at 34 to go in the Daytona 100. Brought to you by the Golden Racing League. Good look at your top 4 right there. Battling. Still just hanging out just a little bit. Looks like Van Hoosen was kind of taking a peek, see if he could get something to work. Maybe he could get roll going. Further back in your pack, looks like Mitchell Wilson still sitting in your 6th place spot, followed by Chris Golden. And your 99 of Daniel Jones in the 8th. And I believe that's Roberts in 9th. As they were just making their way around David Warmuth, who currently sits in 13th, 2 laps down. Out of Ronkonkoma, New York. Hopefully I said that right. Ronkonkoma is what I'm told in my ear. Looking at your leaders now. Your top 4, maybe 5. We've got your 5th place up with those guys as well. Daniel Michelle still leading the pack, followed by Stephen Littrell out of Kansas City, Missouri. James Van Hoosen in the 05, your early leader, earlier tonight. Followed by Chase Miller in the 55 in 4th. And Devin Baker in the 1 machine, currently rounding out in the top 5. As we have 30 laps to go. About to be 29 as they cross the line. We are getting close to that oh so famous saying, and in the Golden Racing League, you've heard it many times in the before. And if you haven't heard it yet, you will find out it is the most exciting time of any race we have here at the Golden Racing League. Jared Murphy, your current point standing leader in that 21 machine out of Ridgeway, South Carolina, currently sitting in 12th position. Got your pack there of Wilson, Golden, Jones, Roberts, as well as Byrne back there with Warmth in between Roberts and Byrne. Warmth is, as I said earlier, is 2 laps down. These guys are coming up and working their way around the 56 of Norris. As these guys come around here to the front stretch, I get the privilege of saying this for the first time. It is your Golden Racing time to dig. 25 to go here at the Daytona 100. If there's any time to get moving, this would be that time. As you've got your 26 of Michelle, 36 of Littrell, your 05 of Van Hoosen, your 55 of Miller, and the 1 machine of Baker, your top 5 in your screen. These guys may not make a move yet, but they are thinking about it. Your lap's winding down. And your top 6 are coming to the pits with 24 to go. All 6 of them are pitting at this moment. Got your 36 of Luttrell hitting the box first. Chase Miller hits his. Devin Baker pulling up to his. James Van Hoosen makes it to his. Who's going to beat who off the line? Looks like the 55 of Chase Miller beats everybody off pit lane, followed by Van Hoosen. We have a race on the apron between Daniel Michelle going around Van Hoosen down below the apron. Meanwhile, 55 of Miller, your current leader as they get back on the track and up to speed. Your live timing should update to that if they stay this way crossing the line. Currently, it is Chase Miller out front, Michelle in second, Van Hoosen third, Littrell fourth, Baker fifth, and Wilson in the 46th in 46 and 6th. Your top 9 cars in the field right now are your only ones on the lead lap as it stands. Chase Miller started 18th tonight. Came up 17 spots. Miller, Michelle, Van Hoosen, and Littrell. Your 4 right there on your screen. Battling for position and, most importantly, that victory lane as they work around the 45. And an on board with Mr. Michelle, currently sitting in your second place position. Michelle not giving him any room, trying to get him to make a mistake, it looks like. That's what we would call the old Dale Earnhardt way of trying to make the person in front of you make a mistake, pressure them. Nothing but a nose in that camera. 20 to go. There's ever a time to find that extra horsepower, it will be soon. as we are at 19 to go, and these laps are winding down quickly. Miller, your current leader. Hoping to find that victory lane tonight, but he's got a hungry Michelle, Van Hoosen, Littrell, and Baker. Michelle looks to be the hungriest. Van Hoosen sitting back there in third, just waiting to pounce on either one of them making a mistake. Michelle, since they came on track, has been all over Miller's back bumper, waiting for Miller to make that most important mistake that he is looking for. As these guys come out of 4, work their way across the line, we will have 16 to go, everybody. 16 of the most important laps for Michelle, Van Hoosen, and Littrell, as they are looking for any mistake between any of the others to happen for them to make it to victory lane tonight. Again, Michelle is not letting Miller get away at all. He is all over his bumper. Van Hoosen and Littrell still right there. I believe you've got Byrne behind them, who is 2 laps down. He is the first of all the lap cars right behind those guys. If a yellow were to come out, I believe he would get a lucky dog. .45 of Lewis behind Byrne there. Lewis about 4 laps down. And I believe Gold is behind him. Gold is about 19 laps down. But again, it lies back to Miller, Michelle, Van Hoosen, and Littrell, your top 4, which are on the left part right in your screen right there. Those guys are battling for that victory lane spot. As these guys come across the line, 13 to go. And we are going to take a short commercial break. We will be back with you shortly. And welcome back to the Golden Racing League Daytona 100. We have 8 laps to go. Miller, Michelle, Van Hoosen, Littrell, your top 4 there, followed by Byrne, who's 2 laps down, but kind of staying with them. This battle right here for first and second is kind of a big one. You've seen Michelle kind of giving Miller a few bumps here and there, trying to get him a little bit loose, but he's looking for that right time to make a move. Van Hoosen just kind of sitting there and waiting for the right time to find a way around these guys, as those two, Van Hoosen and Littrell, are just patiently waiting. Miller still your leader as they work their way below a slower car. And they are coming down the front stretch for 6 laps to go here at the Daytona 100. Laps are winding down. If something's going to happen, it needs to happen soon. Miller, Michelle, Van Hoosen, Littrell. This has been your battle most of the night. All 4 of them have had fast cars. Who wants it more? We are down to 5 to go. As you see in the top of your screen, the 21 of your current points leader, Murphy, getting passed by your leaders. He has had a rough night tonight. About now, you're going to question, when is someone going to make a move? How long are they going to hold it? Miller been doing a good job of holding Michelle back there. Cross the line. We've got 3 to go. As they move into turn 1, they've got a group of lap cars ahead of them. 2 in the low line, 1 in the high line. They're going to have to make some smart moves to get around them, or they're going to have to move out of the way. This may shake things up just a tad. Cross the line. 2 to go. Now's the time to make a move. Now is not the time to hold anything back. 2 to go. Miller, still your leader as they work their way around the number 8 of Warmouth. Miller, Michelle, Van Hoosen, and Littrell. Your top 4 right on your screen. Golden Chef, Speed Shop, white flag. 1 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Miller, been a strong car all night long. Finally took the lead a while ago. Been leading ever since as they make their way down the backstretch. Michelle all over his bumper, looking for a move. But Miller keeping that line defended. Michelle goes up top. Van Hoosen goes down below. It's a drag race. Oh, and Miller and Michelle getting wrecked. Van Hoosen comes across the line and wins the Daytona 100. Oh my gosh. James Van Hoosen in the 05 narrowly avoids that to come around at the last moment and take the win of your Golden Racing League Daytona 100. Oh my gosh. What a wild finish. I was telling my producer over the break that we were talking to each other for a second over the break that something had to happen, and we questioned if something was going to happen, and it sure did. And it happened at the very last moment of the race. Here's a replay, possibly, of that finish. See if we can take watch right along. Watch with the 55 of Miller. He had this all but one. Then you got the 26 of Michelle come to the top. Van Hoosen went down low, and they all got all sorts of out of place. 55 and 26 just kind of came together, and Van Hoosen was like, "Oh, see you later." And Van Hoosen crossed the line and took the Daytona 100 win. That was crazy. That was one of the best finishes that you could probably expect at a Daytona race. They always produce great finishes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick few moments to gather ourselves, let our drivers gather themselves, and we're going to come back with you with your top 3, which includes your winner of the Daytona 100. So we will see you back here shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Golden Racing League Daytona 100. After the incredible finish we had, I have made my way down to pit road, and I am standing here with the 55 machine of Chase Miller. How are you feeling, first of all?
I don't belong here. I'm not a NASCAR guy. I'm certainly not a super speedway guy. I had probably one of the craziest pit entries I've ever had. It was all luck. I somehow managed to not get black flagged. I just got it down to speed in time, but I was locked up, and then I almost missed my pit box and came out first. I mean, it was pure luck. My right foot is so tired. It's actually sore. Yeah, not a fan of this type of racing. But glad we were able to make it out.
That is no joke. Speaking of you getting the lead, let's touch on that real quick. You took the lead after that pit run, and you had Michelle in your rear view mirror for quite a while. Can you at the very least, take us through what you were thinking those last two laps?
I was just a sitting duck. I knew I was a sitting duck out there, and I had a couple people in my race chat, and they're like, be ready for last lap. And I'm like, I'm committed to bottom. I'm not going to throw stupid blocks. I'm not going to do any of that. And as soon as he moved to the right, coming out of 4, I had as much left wheel as I could possibly put in the car, and the thing just pulled right to him. It was like a magnet. There was not a whole lot I could do. And then I kind of went to protect mode to get back to the inside, and then everything went to shit.
Understandable. Well, is there anybody that you would like to thank for getting you to where you're at tonight?
Yeah, just like to thank Leadfoot TV for putting the show on for everybody, and Golden Racing League for having the show. It's a great league. We have a lot of fun in here. I enjoy every race we do, and glad to be a part of it.
Well, we appreciate you for showing up, Chase, and would like to tell you congratulations on your third place. I know it didn't quite work out the way you wanted to, but third is not any worse. So we thank you for coming up here and talking with, or thank you for talking with me.
Buddy, this worked out so much better than I expected it to. I couldn't have dreamt to be in here with y'all after this race. This is so far out of my range. I'm just happy to finish and pumped to be where I'm at.
Good to hear, man. Well, hopefully we see you a lot more times in the future. And hope you have a good rest of your night partying, it sounds like. So
Yeah, man, we're gonna crack open some Busch Light.
there you go. All righty. Well, that was Chase Miller in the 55. Next, I am going to come over and talk to your second place finisher, Mr. Steven Littrell. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
And how was the race for you tonight? I know that you were mostly up towards the front. If I remember correctly, there was a lot going on. How did the race go for you?
Yeah. I mean, Chase pretty much nailed it right there at the end about what happened. But yeah, it was just finally get into a rhythm and get done with all the crashing and all the yellows, and yeah, just get into a rhythm, get a bunch of good guys together that you can just hook up nose to tail and take off. And yeah, I mean, it gets kind of boring there for a little while, but it works out. We end up second, but the 26 and the 55 didn't have to wreck. I would have been happy with fourth, but that's how it goes at Daytona.
Yes, it is, and I'm pretty sure I even made that comment. I said anything can happen at Daytona. We'll see what happens, and well, we here we are. Is there anybody that you would like to thank that has gotten you this far, that helps you along?
Yeah, I always got to thank my family, my mom, dad, my brothers, my wife, my kids. You guys in the booth, Leadfoot TV for putting it on, and Chris Golden for having me out here and lets me run part time and just show up and play around and have a ton of fun out here with the guys.
Well, we appreciate you coming out, and you go have yourself some fun tonight. I think you earned it. So, thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
For sure. Talk to you guys.
Alrighty. And now I'm going to make a long dash run over to what is already a party at Victory Lane and see if I can get a word with your winner of tonight's Daytona 100, Mr. James Van Hoosen of the 05 machine. Mr. Van Hoosen, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, especially after last week's performance. Pulling in the pits and getting a black flag last week, having to watch that this week and do a lot better on pit strategies. It really paid off, and working with my teammates, Marty and Devin, they've worked out really good. I lost them, and then sitting P3 right there, I was kind of where I wanted to be because I knew P1 and P2 at the time would have a little battle. And then when he shot up high to throw the block and he come back down, he kind of bumped me below the yellow, and then they lost it, and I knew I had it right there because I had so much momentum coming on him, and it was just a win right there. I was so happy for.
Absolutely. Um, Speaking of that last little bit, I have to ask you, even though I brought it up once to someone else, um, you know, that that three wide battle there at the end. Um, let's reverse back to right before that to the finish line. I want to know what in that particular moment was going through your mind when all that was happening.
Well, sitting P3 on the backstretch, I knew it was going to get tight. I either had to pull it between 3 and 4 to make the move, but I kind of hesitated back and then pulled a hard run on them. And then once I had the run, I started to make my move, and that's when they started throwing their blocks and caught themselves up in it. And I just took the left side and went around both of them and pulled off the win right there.
Absolutely. And lastly, is there anybody that you have to thank for getting you in the winner's circle tonight?
Yes, I'd like to thank Shock I-12 Racing Development Program. They really hooked me up with the setup tonight, and us working as teammates throughout the race with this setup, it really showed through, and we did good as a pack and group.
Awesome, sir. Well, you go ahead and have some fun. Try not to get in trouble. Have some beers and just enjoy tonight.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I'm thankful that y'all let me join this league and race with y'all. Very talented drivers in this league, and look forward to many more.
Absolutely, sir. Well, you have yourself a good night.
You too, man.
And that is going to wrap it up for us at the Daytona 100. On behalf of Landon Brown, Leadfoot TV, I am Chase Clow. Thank you for watching with us, and we will see you at the next one.